Hey there YouTube, coming at you today with another video about my Airsoft helmet. The first video was about the helmet itself and the fan installation along with the power pack with the 2-speed switch that I made. Today I want to talk to you about the goggles and the mask setup, as well as the modifications that I made for those. So let's start with the goggles. Alright, these are ESS goggles that I've had for a while, and with my helmet, I've got a battery pack here on the back that runs my fan. So the wraparound strap that I had for these goggles wasn't going to work any longer. So I had to modify this, and I found these clips online that it's 2 pieces. They're made out of plastic. The strap loops through this section, then they connect together right here, and then they mount to the helmet on your rail system. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward, and they can work at any part on that rail system. Now I had to cut the strap on each side and then loop them through this piece here, and then sew the adjuster back on. That way I still have my adjustment for both sides. Another modification I made to the goggles is here across the top. This had a foam dust cover that I took off because I wanted to maximize airflow from my fan into my goggles to help keep them fog free. But I could have probably left it, and it probably would have worked just fine that way as well. But anyway, I wanted to maximize the airflow as best that I could. The other modification that I made is with these neodymium rare earth magnets. They come in different sizes. These are just a few that I had laying around here from other projects from the past. So I used them here in my mask. But I glued a couple of them right here on the nose plate. And those will mate up and meet with some magnets that I installed in my mask. And I'll show you the modifications now to the mask. So when I got this mask, it was much bigger, and the only way to be able to wear it was that they had to go underneath my goggles, and I didn't like the way that felt on my nose. It was adding too much pressure. So I got on YouTube and I saw where people had modified their mask to fit the contours of their goggles. So that's what I did with this one. But also, they would attach the goggles to the mask so the mask wouldn't fall off their face, either using hot glue or they would use zip ties, something like that. Well, I want the option to be able to take this mask off in case I don't want to play with this mask. Maybe I want to use something different, but I still need to use my goggles. So that's why I put the magnets in my goggles and then also in my mask. So once I figured out where those magnets lined up, I then took my Dremel tool and I cut a couple of slots, one on each side, and I installed a couple of magnets on each side, and then I covered it up with a little bit of strapping so nothing comes out, nothing's exposed. And then it attaches to my goggles just like that. So if I need to get my mask off in a hurry, it's just a matter of pulling it off. And everything attaches and everything holds just fine in the field. Alright, so that was that modification. So then the other modification I did to the mask after I contoured it, and then also after I put these magnets in the hold to the goggles, is the original strap. It had like some sort of headband type thing that went around your head, and I didn't want to have that on my head as well as the helmet and all of everything that's going on inside that helmet. So I took it off. I had some 1/8" bungee cord, and I made 2 little straps, one for each side, and then these clips actually came with the helmet, and they just install just like that, real easy. Now the one issue that I found was that since the original head strap of this is gone, the ear cups no longer went against my ear. They kind of stuck out a little bit because of how they mount to the helmet here. Well, to help with that, I went to the bottom here, took a knife, cut a slit in the fabric, slid a magnet down in there, hot glued it all back, found out where it met with the strap, with my chin strap, as I'm wearing the helmet, and installed a magnet there, glued it in place, then covered it with a little bit of strapping, and now when that strap meets that ear cup right there, it pulls it in place and brings it in a little bit further, and as everything's held in just right. So that's the modifications that I made to my mask and to my goggles in order to make everything work with each other, make everything to where it's easier to take it on and off at the field, and everything works well with my fan. So that's my setup right there. Hope there's something there that you can use, and have a good time out there on the field.